Hi, my name's SarahJane, and I founded Bish Bosh Becca. As I said earlier, I'm a spouse of an ex-royal engineer. When I was first asked to do this, I said, OK, as long as it doesn't involve an assault course. However, at the moment, the assault course is looking quite good. Anyway, a bit about me. I've always been creative. Before I set up Bish Bosh Becca, I made wedding dresses, which was incredibly stressful. I also made hair fascinators, which are small hatty things for people who don't know what they are. My mother then had some jewellery stolen, and this is what set it off, the crochet cuffs. She had one of her mother's bracelets stolen, and I knew I couldn't replace it. But in a craft magazine, there was a rather naff children's bracelet made with plastic-coated wire and plastic beads. And I knew if I could make that for her, I could replace her bracelet. So that's what I did. I made these crochet cuffs. Anyway, she loved it, and her friends liked it, so it got me thinking. My husband then made the mistake of going away to Iraq for 6 months and came back to a house full of beads, which he couldn't complain about because he'd been in Iraq for 6 months. I then looked for a name for this company. Our daughter Rebecca, she's now 19, but at the time her nickname was Bish Bosh Becca because when she was 2, she kept falling over. So my husband named her Bish Bosh Becca. And when I Googled it, funny enough, nothing came up. So I knew I'd found my name, and Bish Bosh Becca was born. I initially found information through BusinessLink. I knew I wanted to be a sole trader, and I still am a sole trader. It also told me I had to register with HMRC, otherwise I'd be fined for it. So that I did. I started off with jewellery parties. In fact, the first one I had, I usually met up on a Friday morning with some friends for coffee. Coffee again. And so I bribed them with cakes and coffee and said, if you come over and give your views about my jewellery, I'll give you tea and coffee and cakes. Surprisingly, they came over and they actually bought stuff, which I was relieved, surprised, shocked and delighted. It then went on. I kept doing more jewellery parties. I then started doing craft fairs, which are hard work. I've always been lucky. I've always made a profit for them. But it's soul-destroying when you're next to a baker and he trips off halfway through having sold everything, and I've still got all these things that I've taken just in case someone asks for a blue pearl necklace. At the moment, I've got 3 outlets. I've got my website, which I am incredibly proud of. It's got an integral shopping cart now. We've got a lovely Zoom feature, which you can get a real good look at the jewellery. And you've got a wish list. So if you're ever not sure what to get your wife to have a look at it, and she'll choose something on the wish list, and she'll email you. I'm actually on 2 other websites as well. I'm on Not on the High Street, which is superb for marketing and things like that. They're absolutely superb. They're second to none for marketing. And I'm also just been asked to be on a new website called Man Buys Present, which is, as it says on the tin. It gets sent and you get it, and it's all gift wrapped and it arrives very quickly. It's been a bit of a learning curve, but it's to be there. I pay commission to the sales on those 2. Through craft fairs, I joined something called the Charity Fair Association, so I get all my insurance through there. So hopefully I'm covered. And Not on the High Street keeps me up to date on legislation, like distance selling legislation and things like that we all have to comply with if we've got a website. Initially, I did keep the business small because I wanted to maintain the ethos to provide the quality and service that I would expect to receive in return. And that means that is so important to me. I was working as a civil servant at the time. I was based down in Taunton while my husband went off and travelled and did his army things. The business then grew, and I went for voluntary exit as being a civil servant. And on all these courses that you have before you go, you've got this graph that you dip and you're angry about it. I seem to miss out that phase. I just went from being, when I was told I had been accepted voluntary exit, I skipped around that building. I could have done cartwheels up and down. And that I left in September last year, so I've almost been going a year. And I haven't looked back since. It's been fabulous. You do need a lot of skills, some of them I don't have. I am not a web designer. I couldn't do this. There is no way. So I delegate to a fantastic web designer who does it for me. I'm also useless at taking photographs, so I employ someone to take the photographs for me, so they're high res, so I can send them off to magazines and things like that. I have had my fair share of disasters. The clothes show live was not for me. It was an expensive mistake, but we moved on and we learnt, so that was fine. But there's lots of good that has come out of it. As I said, I'm incredibly proud of my website. I think a lot of people are amazed that it is just me behind it. Bish Bosh Becca now has its own hallmark, which was a major step for me. I was quite proud of that. I'm also on a website called Military Wedding Discounts, which again does what it says. I used to panic about creating new designs. Every year it's, oh gosh, will I come up with a new design? I just stopped worrying now. It happens mostly at the most inconvenient time when I haven't got money to spend on the components, but so far it's been good. The future for Bish Bosh Becca. I need to get to grips with PR and marketing. Friday, I am going to set myself a task of doing a press release and putting it on SourceWire, so we'll see how that goes. SEO, search engine optimization, I am getting to grips with. Bish Bosh Becca is now on page 6 on Google if you put in wedding jewellery. So we're aiming for number 1, of course. In the long-term future, I have to decide whether I want to employ staff or a company to actually make my jewellery for me. I just design it and they make it. This is not something I am ready to do at the moment. I'm an absolute control freak and I want to know that every piece of jewellery I send out is the quality I would expect. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much.